Okay, let's talk about more local marketing strategy. If you are a service provider, a brick and mortar store, or you work with people and you love seeing them one-on-one and your audience is local to you. Let's dive into part 3 of this series, which is going to be a little bit old school. Let's talk about posters and pull tabs. I know, not what you were expecting. You would be surprised how much business still gets brought in through the really, really basic things like putting up a poster in your local supermarket signboard, or using pull tabs in car parks, or just putting up your posters and flyers, even going and sticking up signs like at local places, local signboards, community notice boards, events, car parks, shopping centers, schools, primary schools, depending on your business and what you're attracting in. Like, I'm not going to say it's going to be appropriate for everything, but you will be surprised how much business you actually get from things like that. There is so many cases where people are killing time, they're waiting for something, and we are naturally drawn to read those types of materials, take it in. We're kind of curious, is this where the hidden deal is going to be? Is something really cool going to be here? What's the latest festival on? That type of stuff. We are naturally drawn to those type of information sources still, even though we have things like social media. So it can be super, super powerful for your business, and I think it gets overlooked so many times. Now, you do not have to overcomplicate this. It can be super, super simple. And what I like to do, and what I have done over the years, is actually test this out. I've got a graphic design company as well. I create like the most beautiful poster you've ever seen, put it up and see the response it gets. I put the most basic bitch, my 7-year-old could have done it in Word, poster up and see what type of response it gets. I've even been really sneaky in the past and put typos in it, because people will purposely call me to let me know there is a typo on my poster, which turns into them actually being interested about what the service is for that particular business. So these can be super, super powerful if you are intentional about it and actually treat it like a marketing strategy. You do just have to make sure that you set aside some time every few weeks to go and freshen them up, put up new ones. If you're doing pull tabs, which is the poster where it's got like the little pull off bits at the bottom, or a poster with your business card attached, a poster with a QR code attached, something like that, especially powerful if you're doing events. In fact, the majority of posters and things like that should have a QR code attached to it these days, because everyone is way too lazy to type in a phone number or an email address. So yeah, just make sure you've got some time to go around and refresh them every few weeks, check which ones are working, which ones aren't. If you've got the pull tabs, check how many pull tabs have been pulled off, and then also make sure that you're tracking how many inquiries are coming in from that, because you want to be able to know, where has my clients come from? If I'm going to spend an hour every single week going around and refreshing these posters, how many clients am I getting on the return from that? And is it worth my time to continue this? Also keeping in mind that it usually takes a few months of having these up and people being exposed to it for them to see it enough times that it mentally and subconsciously builds trust within them, which is a very, very powerful strategy for local businesses, especially when you're focused on building that trust and that reputation. It all comes down to how many times do they see your brand. Stay tuned for part 4.